todos, estamos haciendo una transmisión en vivo en YouTube.
This is your first appearance before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Esta es la primera sesión para el condado de Clayton.
We are not here to try your case, nor are we here to take a plea.
Sorry, ma'am. Would you mind repeating that, please?
We are not here to try your case, nor are we here to take a plea.
No estamos aquí para juzgar su caso, ni tampoco para hacer alguna súplica.
The court will inform you of your rights.
La corte le va a informar de sus derechos.
We will schedule a preliminary hearing for some of you.
Vamos a programar una audiencia preliminar para algunos de ustedes.
We will set bail for some of you.
También se va a fijar la fianza para alguna de ustedes.
And we will appoint an attorney to represent you.
Y vamos a asignar a algún abogado para representarlo.
During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights.
Durante esta y los siguientes procedimientos, tiene usted los siguientes derechos.
You have the right to the presumption of innocence until the state proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
Tiene el derecho I'm sorry, ma'am. Would you mind repeating that, please?
Yes, the right to the presumption of innocence.
Tiene usted el derecho del beneficio de la duda.
Until the state proves your guilt.
Hasta que el Estado compruebe que es culpable.
Beyond a reasonable doubt.
Más allá de una duda razonable.
During this and all other proceedings, you also have the right to the indictment by grand jury for felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Would you mind getting me?
Yes, I will break it down. That's okay. You have the right to indictment by grand jury for felonies.
Tiene usted el derecho de algún subsidio por alguna felonía.
Or by accusation for misdemeanors.
O por alguna acusación por alguna I'm sorry, ma'am, one moment, please. I'm looking for that word. Por quebrantar la ley.
You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury.
Tiene usted el derecho de un juicio veloz.
You have the right to compel the attendances of witnesses by subpoena.
Tiene usted el derecho de solicitar algún testigo con una orden.
You have the right to testify should you choose to do so.
También tiene derecho de testificar o testiguar en caso de que así lo prefiera.
But you are not required to, and no presumption of guilt may be raised if you choose not to.
Pero no tiene que hacerlo, y en caso de que usted decida no hacerlo, no se le va a tomar en su contra.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you.
Tiene el derecho de tener un abogado que lo represente.
Ms. Brown is represented by Mr. Granville and Mr. Secret.
La señorita Brown está, I'm sorry, ma'am. Would you mind repeating those names, please?
Mr. Secret and Mr. Granville.
Thank you, ma'am. La señorita Brown está representada por el señor Secret y Granville.
They are private attorneys.
Ellos son abogados privados.
The rest of you will be appointed an attorney to represent you.
El resto de ustedes se les asignará un abogado que los esté representando.
You can always hire your own attorney or represent yourself.
Ustedes también pueden contratar un abogado propio o representarse ustedes mismos.
Please pay attention as the court is about to discuss bond.
Por favor, pongan atención porque estamos a punto de empezar con el vínculo.
Some of you will be allowed to post bond for your case while your case is being handled with the court.
Algunos de ustedes van a poder afianzarse mientras su caso se está presentando en la corte.
This bond may be cash, commercial, or property.
Esta fianza puede ser en efectivo, comercial o por propiedad.
If you use cash, somebody will bring the full amount of the cash to the jail for your release.
Si ustedes eligen el efectivo, alguien puede traer ese efectivo a la cárcel para que ustedes sean liberados.
This cash bond will be returned once your case is concluded.
Esta fianza en efectivo será regresada una vez que su caso se concluya.
Someone may also use a bonding company who will charge a percentage of your bond as a fee.
Algunos de ustedes pueden elegir una fianza con alguna empresa, la cual va a cobrar un cierto interés a manera de un cargo.
This fee will not be returned.
Este cargo no será regresado.
Someone could also post a property bond as long as there is a net equity 3 times the amount of your bond.
Y algunos de ustedes pueden solicitar también afianzarse con alguna propiedad, siempre y cuando la capital sea 3 veces mayor a lo de su fianza.
Everyone will have special conditions on their bond. At minimum, you shall not violate any laws while out on bond.
Todos pueden tener condiciones especiales con la fianza, siempre y cuando no se violen las leyes de fianza.
Some of you may have additional bond conditions that prohibit you from going around certain people or certain places.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Would you mind repeating that? You were breaking up.
Yes. Some of you may have additional conditions on your bond.
Algunos de ustedes puede que tengan condiciones adicionales en su fianza.
These conditions will prohibit you from going around certain people or certain places.
Estas condiciones les pueden prohibir ir a ciertos lugares o estar cerca de ciertas personas.
If you violate these conditions, you will not be entitled to a new bond while awaiting trial.
Si ustedes violan estas condiciones, no van a poder ser otorgados alguna otra nueva fianza hasta su nueva audiencia.
And additional charges can be brought against you.
Y puede ser que se les agreguen nuevos cargos en su contra.
If you have a family member who will assist you with making bond, and he or she is the alleged victim, they will be prohibited from making bond on your behalf.
Si ustedes quieren seleccionar algún miembro de su familia para que sea su fianza, pero ellos han tenido algún caso penal, eso les prohíbe ser parte de su fianza.
Some of you are charged with offenses for which the court is not authorized to set a bail.
Algunos de ustedes tienen cargos los cuales la corte no es permitida fijar alguna fianza.
If you are on active probation, the court is not authorized to set a bail.
Si usted está en libertad probatoria activa, la corte no tiene autorizado fijar alguna fianza.
For you who are charged with misdemeanors only, Please continue to listen up.
Para quienes solamente tienen cargos menores, por favor, escuchen o pongan atención.
You have the option to waive your preliminary hearing that will move your case forward to the state court.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Would you mind repeating that, please?
You have the option to waive your preliminary hearing, which will move your case forward to the state court.
Tiene opción de exonerar tu audiencia preliminar, lo cual ocasiona que tu caso se mueva a la corte estatal.
Waiving this hearing does not affect your right to a trial, an attorney, or to post bail.
Si usted exonera esta audiencia, no le quita el derecho a tener un abogado o algún juicio o fijar alguna fianza.
If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived.
Si ustedes solicitan afianzarse, su audiencia preliminar se exonera de automático.
Shortly, the court will ask you if you want me to read your charges aloud, meaning the details of the allegations. You have the right to waive this reading.
En corto tiempo se les va a preguntar si ustedes quieren que sus cargos sean leídos en voz alta y si quieren alguna alegación.
The court does not have a preference either way.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Would you mind repeating that, please?
The court does not have a preference either way.
La corte no tiene ninguna preferencia de ninguno de los dos.
However, be mindful that we are streaming live on YouTube.
Pero tengan en cuenta que estamos haciendo la transmisión en vivo en YouTube.
We will take Mr. Gonzalez and Ms. Fernandez first, and then we will take Ms. Brown. Then we will go in the order of the calendars.
Vamos a tomar al señor González y el señor Fernández y después vamos a hablar con la señorita Brown. Después vamos a tomar el orden del calendario.
Give me one moment to pick the paperwork.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Un momento, por favor.
You're welcome. I should have mentioned we will do the female inmates first. I think the jail knows this, but just in case.
Do you want me to tell them that, ma'am?
No, they hear me.
Judge Duvernay, you did say the other person that you were going to do first that had the attorney was last name Brown. It was a female?
Yes, Rodnisha Brown.
Okay. Judge Duvernay.
Yes.
The people from the October 10th calendar didn't receive your announcement. Now, there's no interpreter required in that one because we have to do social distancing. So are you going to say your announcement for October 10th?
No, we'll do the interpreter first, and then let me just give me one moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you still there, Madam Interpreter?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please bring forward Maria Gonzalez.
Por favor, preséntese María González.
Ma'am, you are charged with battery family violence.
Usted tiene cargos por violencia familiar.
Do you understand your charge and waive the reading of your warrant, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
Usted entiende sus cargos y quiere exonerar. One moment, please, ma'am. Quiere exonerar que se lea su orden.
Do you wish to have it read aloud, or do you understand your charges?
¿Desea que se lea en voz alta o usted entiende cuáles son sus cargos?
Sí, entiendo mis cargos.
Say that again. I don't think the interpreter heard you.
¿Puede decirlo más alto, por favor? Creo que no le escuchó la intérprete.
Sí, entiendo mis cargos.
Yes, I understand my charges.
Your bond is $3,500.
Su monto de fianza es de $3,500.
You are to stay away from Juan Carlos.
Tiene que mantenerse alejada de Juan Carlos.
You cannot return to 625 Bridge Avenue in Forest Park.
No puede regresar a 625 Bridge Avenue in Forest Park.
You must not violate any laws while out on bond.
Y no puede quebrantar ninguna ley mientras usted está en fianza.
Your next court date will be October 27th.
Su próxima fecha de corte es el 27 de octubre.
And are you able to make bond?
¿Puede usted pagar la fianza?
¿Alguien me iba a fiar? Say it again. No. Mi amiga me...
Sorry, ma'am, I did not hear her correctly.
Repite, por favor.
Say it again.
¿Puede repetir, por favor?
Mi amiga me va a fiar.
¿Puede repetirlo, por favor?
Mi amiga me va a fiar.
My friend is going to bail me out.
Thank you. Have a good day. Next we will have
Gracias, que tenga buen día.
Mr. Fernandez.
El próximo va a ser el señor Fernández.
Come to the podium.
¿Cómo?
Sí, está bien, la escucho.
Yes, that's fine. I can hear you.
Mr. Fernandez, you are charged with simple battery, cruelty to children, and criminal damage to property.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Would you mind repeating that, please?
Mr. Gonzalez, you are charged with simple battery, cruelty to children, and criminal damage to property in the second degree.
Ma'am, this is interpreter. Just to clarify, you said Mr. Gonzalez, but at first you said Mr. Fernandez.
Thank you. Mr. Fernandez.
Okay. you. Señor Fernández, sus cargos son agresiones simples con niños y también daño criminal a propiedad.
Do you understand your charges, or do you want me to read them aloud for you?
¿Entiende cuáles son sus cargos o quiere que los lea en voz alta?
¿Me los puede leer, de favor?
Can you read them, please?
Yes. It is alleged that you damaged the property of your wife.
Usted dañó la propiedad de su esposa.
By damaging her iPhone.
Dañó también, al momento de que dañó su iPhone.
It is alleged that you did cause harm to her by slapping her in the face.
Se alega también que tuvo agresiones contra ella al momento de cachetearla en la cara.
Bruising her face.
Dejándole moretones en la cara.
And it is alleged you did this in the presence of her minor child, Oscar Munoz.
Y se alega que todo esto lo hizo en presencia de su hijo menor, Oscar Muñoz.
Your bond is $12,000.
Su monto de fianza son $12,000.
You will stay away from Ida Basabez and Oscar Munoz.
Usted tiene que mantenerse alejado de Aida Basabez y Oscar Muñoz.
You will not return to 602 Somerset Drive.
Ma'am, would you mind repeating the address, please?
602 Somerset Drive.
Thank you, ma'am. No tiene que regresar a la dirección 0602 Somerset Drive.
You shall not violate laws while out on bond.
No puede quebrantar ninguna ley mientras esté en libertad bajo fianza.
Your next court date will be November 9th at 8 a.m.
Su próxima fecha de corte va a ser el 9 de noviembre. Permítame un momento, por favor. Ma'am, you said the court date was November 9th at 8 a.m.?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Su próxima fecha de corte será el 9 de noviembre a las 8 de la mañana.
Are you able to make bond?
Ma'am, you were breaking up. Would you mind repeating that, please?
Yes, thank you. Are you able to make bond?
¿Puede usted pagar el monto de fianza?
No sabría decirle, necesitaría preguntarle a mi amigo.
I don't know. I need to ask my friend.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day, sir. And Madam Interpreter, thank you for your time and your patience. Have a good day.
Is there anything else I can do for you, ma'am?
No, I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you for using our services. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe.
Thank you. You too.
Que tenga buen día.
Ms. Brown? Ma'am, you are represented by Mr. Secret and Mr. Granville. Your charge is aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Your bond is $35,000. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have it read aloud? And I'll ask the attorneys that question.
We'll waive the reading, Your Honor.
Okay. Her bond is $35,000. She is to stay away from Jerry Ficklin Jr., Jerry Ficklin Sr., Ashley Ficklin, and Angela Ficklin, and she must not violate any laws while out on bond. Is Ms. Brown able to make bond?
Yes, before we get into that, Your Honor, if you would, and I don't want to take up a lot of time. I know you have a large calendar, but, you know, in the alternative, you know, we're actually requesting a reduction. Dr. Brown, my client is a medical doctor at Oakhurst Medical Center. She just finished her 3-year residency at Morehouse Medical School in May. She just started her family, I believe she's a medical physician in the family division. She was a Merit Scholar at Howard University. She was a valedictorian at Douglas High School. And this is a case of domestic violence, Your Honor. Unfortunately, as she rose in her life, she fell in love and had a daughter by someone that's still caught up in the traps of the streets. And this is an issue where there's a dispute over her hairstyle. She went to go retrieve her daughter. The complaining witness, he had the audacity to file a police report, has an ongoing police investigation right now in Union City from physically assaulting my client, slapped her. He has a history of verbally and physically abusing her over the years. She's a small, Ranisha, Dr. Brown's probably 5'1". This is a big guy, always helpful. He has a history of abusing her. She defended herself because he slapped, we saw the video, I just got it from Chuck E. Cheese. He slapped her in the parking lot. And so, you know, she has a right to defend herself. So she pulled the gun. So I understand the charges. I'm not going to litigate that here, but under the circumstance, she's an outstanding citizen. She's a medical physician. Just like I said, fell in love with someone caught up in the traps of the streets, who had the audacity to file a police report against her after having a long history of physical violence and abuse that's documented here as the police reports that she filed on him. She has a good heart. She never wanted to move forward, wanted the father to be involved. The daughter is only 1 year old. And so we're actually requesting that she be released on her own recognizance, Your Honor. We're gonna move in next week to follow through with Unicity to get him arrested for the past acts of violence against her. And we're going to file restraining orders against her, a protective order, not against her, against him, protecting her. So we asking that, you know, she be let out on her own recognizance, or in the alternative, Your Honor, we're requesting a bond at least $5,000 under the facts and circumstances of the case. Like I said, and he continues, he doesn't even know that she had a warrant out for arrest. I mean, it's so many text messages where he's calling her bitches and hoes. I'm gonna slap your ugly man looking ass up. Sorry to use that language, but the fact of the matter is, this is what and she doesn't say anything. She's quiet, meek. He's bullying her and had the audacity to file a police report, and it's just outrageous to me. So, but again, I know this is not the time or place to litigate that, but I do anticipate once the district attorney sees the video that I was able to get from Chuck E. Cheese of him slapping her, and once they research his criminal history and the police reports against him of abusing and physically attacking my client, and the about 50 text messages that I text of him calling her, you know, just threatening her. And it is one text message, my client said, "You recall you slapped me?" And he said, "Yeah, I should have did more." I mean, this is all, his text message is obviously going to be used against him. In this case, it's going to be thrown away because we are in a stand your ground state. She did not fire the weapon. She was protecting herself. And so we're asking that she be released on her own recognizance, or in the alternative, some, $5,000 bond or something to that effect, Your Honor.
While the court appreciates your zealous advocacy, and I do understand that there are some issues underlying on just the review of the warrant, which is what I'm permitted to do. I did take into consideration the fact that she has no criminal history whatsoever. And I also took into consideration in the review of the warrant what occurred surrounding the incident, which is why instead of doing no bond, I already implemented a bond. And so I am not inclined to reduce the bond any further, just because the allegations are very serious. However, if you are able to get a consent bond from the DA, of course, have it reviewed by our office, we have no problem moving forward with that, okay?
Okay. So the bond is
saying, I tell you that her next court is $35,000. Of course, she can always use a bonding company to get a reduction by just paying a percentage of that. And like I said, if you want to get in touch with the DA's office on Monday and see if there's a way that you all can discuss that, court has no problem with reviewing that. Whatever judge is on duty, as you know, magistrate court, we're 24/7 and the train's got to keep moving. I did say that her court date is going to be November 9th at 8 a.m. That's going to be her preliminary hearing date. If you all are not able to resolve it before then, that will be her preliminary date. Is there anything else from you all?
No, nothing further. Mr. Secret, do you have anything you want to add?
No, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you both. You're welcome. You all can stay on or be excused, whatever you all desire. Have a good day, Ms. Brown. Next will be Kaylee Batson. Ma'am, you are charged with battery, family violence, and theft by taking. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your warrant, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
I understand my charge, Your Honor.
Your bond is $5,500. You are to stay away from Dylan Barnes, and you cannot return to 810 Fountain Circle in Stockbridge, Georgia. Do you understand this, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you currently reside there? It looks like your address was listed as something else. Do you currently reside there?
No, ma'am. I reside in Floodville at my home.
Okay, so please do not return to that Stockbridge address and stay away from Mr. Barnes. You must also not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
These are misdemeanor offenses, which means you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
I'm not exactly sure what that means. I'm sorry.
Your next court date will be October 27th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
Yes.
Please make sure she said she's gonna go for it. She's not gonna waive it. So yeah, she's done. We'll do Priya Breach.
Yes, Judge, she's at the podium.
Thank you. Ma'am, you are charged with giving a false name or date of birth. You are also charged with having no license on person. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your warrant, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
Your bond is $4,000. You should not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes.
This is a misdemeanor offense, which means you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, I guess.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day. Tiffany Fearby.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are charged with tinted window violation, 3 felony violations of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, use of possession of drug-related objects, and the use of a possession during the commission of a crime, possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. Do you understand your charges and waive the formal reading of your accusations, or do you wish to have them read aloud?
No, ma'am, I wish to waiver.
Your bond is $30,000. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
No.
That was a yes or no?
Yes.
Your next court date will be November 9th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Reed Felton.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are charged with battery and simple assault. Do you understand your charges and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have them read aloud?
I understand, Your Honor.
Your bond is $7,000. You must stay away from Linda Fowler. You cannot return to 2893 Cushing Court in Clayton County, Georgia. It was indicated on the warrantless arrest affidavit that that is your residence. As such, you can return with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, you cannot go back to that property unescorted until this matter is resolved, until that condition is modified by another judge. You must also not violate any laws out on bond. Do you understand these special conditions?
Yes, I do.
Are you able to make bond?
Yes.
These are misdemeanor offenses, which means you have the opportunity to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
May I ask you, what does that mean exactly?
No, ma'am, I've already gone over that, and we have a long list of people in front of you. So what I'll do is just appoint an attorney to represent you as I'm done with everybody else. Speak with your lawyer, and he or she will let you know if you desire to waive it. As of right now, your next court date will be October 27th at 8 a.m. Have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
You're welcome, thanks. LaQuasha Harrell.
No.
This is Harris Janaya.
I need Latasha Harrell.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you.
You are charged with theft by shoplifting. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
Yes, I understand.
Your bond is $10,000. You are to stay away from Walmart on Anvil Block Road, and you must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
No.
This is a misdemeanor offense, which means you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. If you do not bond out before your next court date, ma'am, they'll bring you up, okay? Next, we'll have Janiyah Harris. You are charged with commissions party to a crime, entering auto. Do you understand the nature of your charge and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have your warrant read aloud?
Read it out loud.
It's alleged that you aided or abetted in the commission of the crime by either intentionally advising, encouraging, hiring, or counseling another to commit the crime. On September 25th, you committed the offense of party to a crime when you aided and advised in the commission of the crime, entering auto, when you along with Elijah Brown were present and devised a plan to enter autos while an unknown male entered the automobile with a silver and color Cadillac with the intent to commit a theft. Your bond is $25,000. You must not violate any laws without on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes.
Your next court date will be November 9th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Next will be Alicia Moore. Is she the last female for the ninth calendar?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, great. Then we'll have Mohammed Abdikadir.
Yes, ma'am.
Abdikadir next.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Moore, you're charged with driving on a suspended license. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
You can read it.
It said that you entered into a road safety check, gave a false name and date of birth. After obtaining your license and running it through the GCIC, it's confirmed that your license is suspended for failure to appear. Your bond is $1,500, and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
I didn't hear how much you said it was, ma'am.
$1,500.
$1,500. The problem is I have the money to bond out, but I don't have nobody to sign it.
Okay, so the question I have for you is are you able to make bond? My answer would be yes, judge, or no, judge. So what is your response?
Yes.
This is a misdemeanor. You have the opportunity to waive your preliminary hearing as such. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
If you waive it, what does that mean?
I've already explained that earlier, ma'am, and I'm not trying to be rude. We have a lot of people on the calendar. So because I've appointed an attorney to represent you, he or she will explain that to you. For right now, I'll go ahead and state it now since you don't understand what it is and you can't knowingly waive it. Your next court date will be October 27th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day, ma'am.
Right, thank you.
Thank you, you're welcome.
Yeah. All right, Judge, we're about to get the mails, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
And Knox, what were you saying earlier? I need to read my speech again.
Yes, we had to split them up by days. So you just did the 9th. For everybody on the 9th, they were out there to hear the speech. So everyone on the 10th didn't actually hear the speech.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Still on October 9th, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Yes, we're still doing the mails from October 9th.
Yes, ma'am. One moment, we getting them set up.
Thank you so much. I'll stand by. Just let me know when y'all are ready.
Yes, ma'am. Judge Duvernay, we ready when you are. Judge Duvernay.
Yes, thank you. We're back on the record. Are you Mr. Abdikadir?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you pronounce your name for me? I know I probably said it wrong.
Abdikadir.
Abdikadir. Okay. Sir, you're charged with rape. You do not have a bond at this time. Do you wish for me to read your charges aloud, or do you understand the nature of your charges?
No, ma'am.
She asked her, do you want her to read it aloud?
No, ma'am.
You don't. So do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
You do not have a bond at this time. Should you get a bond, you're to stay away from Ms. Thornton. Your next court date will be November 9th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Next, we will have Devontae Ashley.
Okay.
Sir, you're charged with affray and criminal trespass. Do you understand the nature of your charge, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
I understand.
Your bond is $4,500. You're to stay away from Breonna Williams. You cannot return to 100 Sandalwood Court in Morrow, Georgia. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
I gotta call. I gotta make some calls. I'm not sure yet.
These are misdemeanor offenses, which means you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Meaning waive it, meaning what?
What I've already explained earlier, sir, when I was reading out the speech to everybody, you didn't understand. If you don't understand, it's fine. But if you do,
Okay.
we need to know.
I don't need to waive it. I'm sorry.
So you want to have your hearing?
Yes.
Your next court date will be October 27th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
Wait, I do want to waive it. I didn't know that I have to wait for another court date. So I could still bond out and still come back to court?
If you bond out, you're going to be waiving it anyway. You automatically waive it when you bond out.
Okay, so I'm just going to try to bond out.
So the answer to my question is, do you waive it or no? The answer is yes or no.
I'm still
The court finds that you cannot make a knowing waiver, which is fine. So what I'm going to do is set you down for a court date of October 27th at 8 a.m. You do have a lawyer that's going to help you. If you and your lawyer decide to waive it, you can do so at that time. Have a good day, sir. Victory Barnes should be next.
That's me, ma'am.
Yes, that's you. Give me one moment. Sir, you're charged with driving on a suspended license. Do you understand the nature of your charge and waive the formal reading of the accusation?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Your bond is $1,500 and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
It seems like right now I can't make bond.
Is that a yes or no?
Just no, ma'am.
You can waive your preliminary hearing as this is a misdemeanor. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Please sign your waiver. Okay. And your next court date will come in the mail. Sir, if you do not make bond, they will bring you up for your next court date, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Right, thank
Next should be Lamario Bradford. Actually, Mr. Bradford's case is going to be reset until tomorrow. Are you Mr. Bradford?
It's set until tomorrow?
Yes, your case is going to be reset until tomorrow.
He's clear, ma'am.
Anthony Burns should be next.
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with abandonment of child. Do you understand your charges and waive the form of reading, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
You can read aloud, ma'am.
It is alleged that you willfully and voluntarily left your minor child in a dependent condition by failing to furnish sufficient food, clothing, shelter, or medical care for said child for a period of 2 months. The name of the child, I will not read aloud, but it's Mr. Benson, and his date of birth is 2004. The arrearage amount for child support is approximately $15,129.65. This warrant was taken out in 2019. Your bond is $1,500, and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am. I just have to call my dad so he can bring it down, and that's it.
This is a misdemeanor. You have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, I think that will be good.
So please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Mr. Jaquayon Gibson will be reset until tomorrow. So if he's next, he can be reset and taken back. Mr. Gibson's case will be heard tomorrow.
Proceed. Thank you. And I have to learn how to write with my right hand.
So you can't write with your left hand?
No.
It should be Brian Harden.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon. You are charged with aggravated battery and battery. Do you understand your charge and waive the form of reading, or do you wish to have your charges read aloud?
Understand them and read.
I can't hear you.
I said I understand them and read.
Your bond is $15,000. You are to stay away from Martin Rogers, and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, I just got to call my mom and make sure she can bring it up here.
Your next court date tonight at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Honoris Henley should be next.
How you doing, Joe?
Are you Mr. Henley?
Yes, ma'am.
You are charged with criminal trespass and obstruction of an officer. Do you understand your charges and waive the form of reading, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
I understand.
Your bond is $7,000. You are to not return to the Sherwood Motel. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
I was saying, can I get a signature bond? Because I never had them, man.
No, you cannot. Are you able to make bond?
I don't know. I'll try. I don't know.
These are misdemeanors. You have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. In the event that you are still incarcerated at your next court date, they will bring you up, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Leso Jacobs.
Who's that you need, Judge?
Leso Jacobs.
He's out to bond, ma'am.
Oh, thank you.
Take your head off the wall. Take your head off the wall.
Are you Marcus Jones?
No, ma'am.
Marcus Jones should be next.
Excuse me, sir.
What is your name?
Atarish Kelly.
Okay.
Mr. Marcus Marquis Jones.
Can we do him last? I have to go to medical and do his hearing.
Last after everybody, after 10:10, or
Yes.
last after these people?
Last after 10:10.
Okay. Arterius Kelly.
Yes, ma'am.
You are charged with simple battery and criminal damage to property in the second degree. Do you understand your charge and waive the form of reading, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
Yes, ma'am. I understand. You don't got to read out loud.
Your bond is $11,000. You must stay away from Khalil Kelly. You cannot return to 5216 Kirk Drive in Atlanta, Georgia. It was indicated on the warrant that that is your residence. As such, you can return with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, you cannot go back to that property unescorted unless this matter is resolved or until that condition is modified by another judge. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You must also not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date is November 9th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Jawan Preston should be next.
Yes, ma'am.
You are charged with driving on a suspended license and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your charges, or do you wish to have them read aloud?
I understand, ma'am.
Your bond is $3,000. You shall not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes.
These are misdemeanor offenses, which means you can waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Please sign your waiver and your next court date will be mailed to you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yasir Kreshy. You are charged with no tag, driving on a suspended license, and license not on person. Do you understand your charges and waive the formal reading of your charge, or do you wish to have your warrant read aloud? I cannot hear you.
I understand the charges.
Thank you. Your bond is $2,500. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
I hope so. I gotta be able to use the phone.
Misdemeanors, excuse me?
I gotta be able to use the phone. Can I get a signature bond?
You. Court will give you a signature bond on these charges. Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day. Rashad Robinson.
How you doing, man?
I'm well, thank you. You're charged with criminal trespass. Do you understand your charges and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have them read aloud?
I understand them, ma'am.
Your bond is $3,500. You're to stay away from American Inn and Suites, and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
I was gonna say, can I get a signature bond since this is my first time, and since this is my first time and my only charge, I was just trying to see if I was eligible for a signature bond.
You're not eligible based on the nature of your charge, sir. I reserve those for very minor offenses, not charges like this. So your request is denied. You said you're not able to make bond?
I should be able to make bond, but I will try and see. But I don't know for sure if I'm able to make bond or not.
I understand that. This is a misdemeanor. You have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
I don't know what that means.
Okay, I'm going to set you down for a preliminary hearing that will occur on October 27th, 2020. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Your lawyer may advise you to waive it at a later date. Have a good day. Ryan Selena.
Hey, how you doing?
Judge.
I'm fine. You have two charges. One was on the calendar for today and one was from yesterday. Your first charge is simple battery against Traquan Doolin, and your second is simple assault against the officer. Do you understand your charges and waive the formal reading of your charges, or do you wish for the court to read them aloud?
For the second charge, I believe I understand it, but I don't know if it's right or not. Because
so the answer to my question would be yes, please read it, Judge, or no, yes, I understand, so don't read it, or yes, I do understand. So do you understand and waive the reading, or do you not understand and need me to read it aloud?
For the second charge, I would like for you to read it. Thank you.
Will you face mask up, Mr. Robinson?
You are charged with two charges. The first is against Traquan. It is accused that on October 8th, you did commit the offense of simple battery family violence by intentionally making physical contact by pushing Traquan Doolin, who you live with. That incident occurred in Clayton County. It was also alleged that on October 9th that you were in the custody of Clayton County Jail and you spit on Correctional Officer C after being placed in the safety restraint chair, and it was witnessed by Officer Johnson, and that you made contact with the back of the sergeant. For that, the court has found that you shall have a bond of $3,500 for the second charge and a bond of $3,500 for the first charge, making your bond a total of $7,000. Additional conditions of your bond include that you shall not be around Traquan Doolin. You shall not return to 55771 B10, apartment D in Trammell Road. It was indicated that that's your residence. You can go back there with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. You cannot go back to that property unescorted for any reason until this matter is resolved or unless that condition is modified by another judge. You must also not violate any laws while out on bond. That condition of not violating laws is applicable to both of your charges. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to make bond?
Yes, I believe so. Am I able to get a signature bond or no?
You are not. Both of these charges are misdemeanor offenses, which means you can waive your preliminary hearing should you choose to do so. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
To waive.
I cannot hear you.
Yes. Yes.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day. Next should be Richard Sharp. So you're charged with speeding and reckless driving. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
Hold on, right there, Mr. Selena.
That's not my charge. I'm sorry.
Richard Sharp is who I need in front of me.
What was the name?
Is he bonded out?
Yes, Judge.
He might have.
You bonded out. This is Mr. Slayton.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sir, you are charged with obstruction of an officer, 2 counts of that charge, battery, cruelty to children, disorderly conduct, and public drunk. Do you understand your charge and waive the form of reading, or do you wish to have them read aloud?
I understand. Could I speak on one of them if that's okay, please?
It's not okay. You do not have a lawyer here with you, and you may say something that incriminates you. So it's for your benefit that you not speak to the court about these charges until you talk to your lawyer. Your bond is $11,500. You are to stay away from Jacqueline Ford and the minor child. You shall not return to 1272 Quail Hunt Drive in Riverdale. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes.
These are all misdemeanor offenses, so you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
I cannot hear you.
Yes.
Please sign your waiver. Please put your mask over your nose. It does not benefit you to have a mask on and your nose is uncovered. Have a good day. Shane Stewart should be next.
How you doing, Judge?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Maintaining.
You were charged with obstruction of an officer as well as simple battery on a police officer. Do you understand your charge and waive the form of reading, or do you wish for me to read your charges aloud?
I understand my charges, Judge.
Your bond is $7,000. You are to not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
I want to ask, this is my first time getting in trouble. Can I please get a signature going? Because I really don't have anybody that can bond me out. Please.
Based on the nature of your charges, you are not eligible for a signature bond, so the request is denied. So you said you're not able to make bond, sir?
I have to make a phone call, but it's going to be kind of tough. But I do have the money that's outside, but I don't have anyone that meets the requirements. But I do have money on me also in the jail. But I just have much family that can actually come up here and meet the requirements, as in with the job and location. But I do have it. So that's why
So the answer to my question is no or yes.
To make bond?
Yes.
Yes, I do. But it's gonna be kind of hard, but I do have the money on me.
You have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing, as these are misdemeanor offenses. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. If you don't bond out, those will bring you up for your next court date, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Have a good day. Khalil Williams should be next, and he's actually going to be reset until tomorrow.
Okay, he's clear. He just heard you. Did you hear her?
Thank you.
Okay, so now
are we ready to read the speech for 1010, or do you need to get it set up?
We just need to get it set up.
And we're going to mute you for 1 second, get them set up, and let you know when we're ready, okay?
Thank you. I'll stand by.
You're welcome. Judge Duvernay, we're ready.
Thank you. Stand by for one more moment.
Yes, ma'am. What is it? Go ahead and get that box. Go get that box, young lady. The one I gave you. Come here. Go get that box.
Knox, the ones at 8, can I put them at the back?
Go get that box. Put it in the tray. The ones at 8, can you put
In the back?
no?
No.
Put it there. Go back in. No, sir. We were right with
Good afternoon. We are back on the record. Can everyone hear me? And by everyone, I'm referring to the inmate.
Yes, ma'am.
Please pay attention. Be mindful that we are streaming live on YouTube as I speak. Please raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm that the information given to this court, as well as anything that you wrote on your application for court-appointed counsel, is true and correct? So help you. If so, say I do. Thank you. This is your first appearance before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. We are not here to try your case or take a plea. You are here for the court to inform you of your rights, to inform you of the charges against you, to set bail on those offenses for which the court is authorized to set bail, to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney, and to set a preliminary hearing for some of you. During this and all other hearings, you have the following rights. You have the right to remain silent, but should you give up this right, anything you say against you can be used against you during this and other proceedings going forward. You have the right to the presumption of innocence beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to indictment by grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors. You have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine witnesses. You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury. You have the right to compel the attendance of witnesses on your own behalf by the use of a subpoena. You have the right to testify and offer evidence in your own defense should you choose to do so. However, should you choose not to do so, no presumption of your guilt can be raised. You have the right to have an attorney represent you. It's the policy of this court to appoint each of you an attorney, which I've done, but you always have the right and option to hire your own attorney or to represent yourself. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds pending the outcome of this case. That bond can be cash, commercial, or property. If you post a cash bond, someone will deliver the full amount of the cash bond to the jail, who will hold it until your case is resolved. That will be returned at the conclusion of your case. Someone could also hire a bonding company who will pay a percentage of your bond, up to 15% as a fee for their services. That fee will not be returned. Someone could also post a property bond, presuming that your property has equity at least 3 times the amount of the bond posted. So if I set a bond for $2,000, your property must have at least $6,000 in equity to qualify as a property bond. The court will inquire of each of you if you are able to make bond. Please do not ask me to do the math to determine what constitutes the bond amount. Is it going to be 10%, 15%? The court does not know what the bond company will charge you or what company you will use. So when I'm asking you, are you able to make bond? I'm simply asking, do you have somebody who will assist you with either posting a cash, commercial, or property bond? Everyone will have special conditions on their bond. At minimum, you will not be allowed to violate any laws while out on bond. Some of you will have additional conditions on your bond that will prohibit you from going around certain people or certain places, and you will be required to acknowledge those special conditions today. If you violate those special conditions, you will be facing additional charges that have a fine of up to $20,000, jail sentence of up to 10 years in prison, or you will not be entitled to a bond while awaiting trial if you do violate those conditions. So please take those special conditions seriously. If you have family members who are watching who will assist you in making your bond, they should wait until the conclusion of this calendar, and that may be a couple of hours for that to happen because it does take some time for the paperwork to be processed. If your family member is the alleged victim, he or she will not be allowed to make a bond on your, post a bond on your behalf. Some of you are charged with offenses for which the court is not authorized to set bond. If you are currently on active probation, you will not get a bond today. Your probation officer must review your charge to see if they wish to take out a probation hold and go from there. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine if there is enough evidence or probable cause to hold you in jail. If you have misdemeanors only, you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing, which means you do not have to sit in jail while you have a preliminary hearing. You can just move your case forward to the state court level. If you waive your preliminary hearing, you're not waiving any of your rights to a jury trial, you're not waiving your right to an attorney, and you are not waiving your right to bond. It just gives you an opportunity to move through the preliminaries a little bit quicker. If you bond out, you will be automatically waiving your preliminary hearing. So keep that in mind. If you are facing misdemeanors only, the court will inquire if you wish to waive your preliminary hearing, and you will have to sign your waiver. If you don't sign your waiver, your court date will come in the mail. If you are facing felony offenses, the court will set a preliminary hearing, which may be waived by you at a later date with your attorney. We will take the female inmates first, followed by the male. First, we will have Jacqueline Hutchings. Oh, one last thing before you take the males back. Can everybody still hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
We are streaming live on YouTube. When I call you up, I will state your charges aloud. If you charges, you can waive the formal reading of your charges, which means the details of your allegations will not be read aloud. So keep that in mind. The court has no bearing either way, but just know that if you want your charges read aloud, they will be read aloud to the World Wide Web. I will take Jacqueline Hutchings first. Ma'am, you are charged with manufacturing, selling, or distributing a false ID. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have your charges read aloud?
I understand.
Your bond is $3,500. You must not violate any laws out on bond. This is a misdemeanor offense, which means you can waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
And what, get bond out? Is that what you're saying?
The waiver does not affect your bond. I'm asking you, do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next will be Alicia Johnson.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, ma'am. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
You're welcome. You're charged with obstruction of an officer, simple assault, and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have them read aloud?
I wish to have them read.
It's accused that you did commit the offense of obstruction when you refused to get out of the vehicle after being asked multiple times. You continuously refused to get out of the vehicle by snatching away from the officer, trying to kick the officer, and other actions. Eventually, you exited the vehicle, took off running, where you were later apprehended inside of a store. You did commit the offense of simple assault when you were trying to kick the officer when you were refusing to exit the vehicle. You committed the offense of marijuana less than an ounce when you were in possession of marijuana less than an ounce located inside the vehicle. The area of the vehicle was in the backseat of the truck. This all occurred in Clayton County. Your bond is $8,500, and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes.
These are misdemeanor offenses, which means you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to have your preliminary hearing?
Sure, yeah.
Is that a yes to the court?
Yes.
Okay, please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day. Melissa Ortiz should be next. Ma'am, you are charged with giving a false name. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your charge, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, you understand, or yes, you wish me to read it aloud?
Ma'am.
You understand your charge?
Ma'am.
You are charged with giving a false name. It says you provided the false name and date of birth to the police on West Fayetteville Road. The officers were present for a crash investigation, and you were observed in one of the involved vehicles. It was unclear at first if you were the driver or the passenger. You provided your name as Melissa Diaz, which did not return on GCIC. You then provided the correct information. Your bond is $3,500. You should not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes.
Your next court date will be October 27th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Next should be LaShonda Person. You're charged with 2 counts of reckless conduct. Do you understand your charge and waive the form of reading, or do you wish to have your warrant read aloud?
Read out loud.
It is alleged that on October 9th, you stated you heard someone jiggling your doorknob to your patio door and observed a light flash on the door. You obtained your firearm from your nightstand and shot 12 times through the door while sitting on your bed without first ascertaining what the nature of the threat was. You caused bodily harm to Lieutenant Lee of the Clayton County Police when you shot through your door 12 times, resulting in the injury to Lee's arm. Lee and Austin were conducting a check of the building for suspicious persons, and they were responding to an unrelated call of gunshots in the area. You did endanger the safety of Lieutenant Lee and Officer Austin by consciously disregarding a substantial and unjustifiable risk that your act caused harm and endangered the safety of the officers, and the disregard constitutes a gross deviation from the standard of care which a reasonable person would exercise. Your bond is $7,000 and you must not violate any laws while out of bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
These are misdemeanors, which means you can waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes.
Please sign your waiver, ma'am. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day. Lakeithia Weems should be next.
Lakeithia Weems, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You are charged with obstruction of officer, 2 counts of that, as well as identity fraud and forgery in the 1st degree. Your bond is $27,000. Do you understand the nature of your charge?
Yes, ma'am.
And waive the form of reading, or do you wish to have your charges read aloud?
No, you don't have to read them aloud.
As stated, your bond is $27,000. You must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date will be November 9th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. I saw another female, but I don't have anybody else in the stack. Who is coming to the podium?
This is Streeter.
The fugitive, ma'am.
Okay, we'll do her last.
Okay.
It should be Mark Bell.
Yeah, Mark Bell. Okay, one moment. Judge Duvernay, just give us 1 minute so we get them set up, okay? Get these mails set up.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay, Judge Duvernay, we're ready. And I just sent you a message, ma'am.
Thank you. We are back on the record. Give me one moment to get my paperwork together.
Yeah.
Yeah, do me a favor. You stand right there. Right here. All right, so as it moves, you have to just move up.
So Grogan and then Harris, right? You got Grogan and then Harris, right? And then
Copeland. No, Copeland's working. And then, this one. It's on the outside. I have to wait a little. I mean, I can wait a little. Well, I need to wait.
Are you Mr. Bell?
Yes, ma'am.
You are charged with obstruction of an officer, loitering or prowling, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and use or possession of drug-related objects. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your charges, or do you wish to have your warrant read aloud?
You can read out loud, ma'am.
It is alleged that you sat in a white Cadillac for over 2 hours in the parking lot of 6628 Terra Boulevard. You did not purchase anything from the vehicle. You did have 1 gram of marijuana in an original scale in your vehicle. You did obstruct and hinder the officer's investigation when you took flight on foot and did not obey lawful orders. Your bond is $7,500. You cannot return to that store on 6682 Terra Boulevard. You must not violate the laws of bond. Are you able to make bond?
No, ma'am, not right now because I don't have anybody's phone number because my phone was dead.
Okay.
And
these are misdemeanor offenses. You have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. If you are not bonded out by the time your next court date arrives, they will bring you forward. Okay, sir?
Is there any way I can recommend for a signature bond, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay.
It's not based on those charges. Have a good day. Next should be Antoine Copeland.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are charged with possession of marijuana and 2 counts of use or possession of drug-related objects. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your warrant, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
I wish to have it read out loud.
It's alleged that you entered into a road safety check. The officer observed a heavy odor of suspected marijuana emitting from the vehicle. A search of the vehicle recovered a green leafy material suspected to be marijuana, a grinder with the material inside, a digital scale, and a marijuana cigarette. You were then placed under arrest. Your bond is $4,500, and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
I have to call my mom.
Your next court date, these are misdemeanors, so you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
What that is?
I've already discussed that. Your next court date will be October 27th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Next should be Keenan Johnson.
Judge Duvernay, we have Ricardo Grogan. You don't have Ricardo Grogan?
Latasha is checking on the status of Mr. Grogan, so he could just stand by.
Okay. So Keenan Johnson is out to bond, ma'am. The next one will be Mr.
Thank you. Yes, Desmond McCune.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr.
One moment, sir. You were charged with battery. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your accusation, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
Read them aloud.
It is alleged that you did intentionally cause substantial harm to Jaden Jarrett, who was your girlfriend, while traveling on I-75 North and Old Dixie Road in a motor vehicle. You caused visible body harm to her head near the left temple by striking her head with a closed fist 3 times, causing her head to bleed from a gash mark on the left temple. Do you live with Miss Jarrett?
I mean, she stay with me at the moment, yes.
Your bond is $3,500. You are to stay away from Miss Jarrett, and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yeah.
This is a misdemeanor. Do you have the option? Do you have the ability? You have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to exercise that?
No.
Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail.
Okay.
Please do, sir, come back.
Yes, ma'am.
It was not indicated that you reside with Miss Jarrett, which is why I'm not keeping you from going back to your residence. However, you are not to be around her. So if you do reside with her, you need to find somewhere else to stay. Do you understand, sir? Have a good day. Jordy McMillan should be next. You are charged with loitering or prowling. Do you understand your charge, sir, and waive the formal reading of your accusation, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
I'd like to have it read out loud, ma'am.
It's accused that you committed the above offense when you entered upon a red Chevy Impala on Brackett's Ratchet Auto Service. You were observed in the vehicle by two witnesses. You were observed by property owners entering the vehicle owned by the owners without permission at the time the business was closed. They were concerned and alarmed for their property. Your bond is $1,000 and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Not at this time, ma'am. I actually work right next door to the spot where I thought it was a dealership, ma'am, and the doors were open to the facility.
Okay, I don't need anything additional from you, sir. The question I asked, were you able to make bond? And you told me you don't think so. My next question for you is, do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Yes, ma'am. Is there any way I could ask for a signature bond?
No, sir, not based on these charges. Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day. Nakia Thompson should be next.
Sorry, what was the name you said, ma'am?
Nakia Thompson.
Ma'am.
You are charged with failure to register as a sex offender. Do you understand your charge and waiving of your accusation, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
I understand it.
You do not have a bond at this time. Your next court date will be November 9th at 8 a.m. in room 201.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Next will be Todd Wright. You are charged with no license. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
Read it out loud, ma'am.
It said that you committed the above offense when you intentionally operated a 2016 Dodge Dart without a valid license on Fayetteville Road and River Station Boulevard. Your bond is $1,000 and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Signature bond?
Court will give you a signature bond. Please sign your waiver. Your next court date will come in the mail. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
One moment,
I'm trying to find. What was that?
One moment, just doing that. Okay, so you got to sign this.
Judge, you want to do the 6 that we wanted to do last, or you wanted to do someone else first?
We can do those 6. I did find the paperwork that I told Deputy Knox I don't have, so I'll take them in the order that was typed to the court.
Okay.
Are you all ready for that or no?
Say that again, Judge Duvernay.
I will take them in the order of the people that you put in the message to the court. I have all the paperwork now. Are you ready to move forward, or do I need to wait?
No, one moment. Give me 1 minute, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Judge Duvernay, we're ready for those 6, and Mr. Grogan's gonna go last, okay, along with that female.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr.
So are you Mr. Cornelius Amofa?
Yes, ma'am.
You are charged with terroristic threats or acts. Do you understand the nature of your charge and waive the formal reading of your warrant, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
I do understand the, excuse me, the nature, you said?
Do you understand the nature of your charges, or do you wish for me to read the warrant aloud? Meaning, and I don't care either way. We're streaming live on YouTube, so I give everybody the opportunity to waive the formal reading if they understand the nature of their charges.
I do understand nature of my charges.
So do you want me to read it aloud or no, sir?
No, ma'am.
Your charge of terroristic threats. Your bond is $25,000. You are to stay away from Cheryl Amofa. You cannot return to 1472 Silverstone Trail in Jonesboro. It was indicated that that is your residence. As such, you can return with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, you cannot go back to that property without a sheriff's escort until this matter is resolved or until that condition is modified by another court. You must also not violate any laws while out on bond. Do you understand the special conditions associated with your bond, sir?
I understand, but she put her hands on me.
Okay, I didn't ask you that. So what I need you to do is listen to my question and answer my question and only my question, okay? You do have an attorney that I've appointed to represent you. You can share whatever potential defenses you have with your attorney. My question was, do you understand the special conditions? And your response was yes. Are you able to make bond is my next question for you.
What is my bond? $2,500?
$25,000.
$25,000? No, ma'am.
I have appointed an attorney to represent you. Your next court date is going to be November 9th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
Go back to that cell. That's back up.
Come on, sir. Step up. Go back to 8, Mr.
Are you Mr. Harris?
Yes, ma'am.
Give me one moment. Sir, you were charged with simple battery. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading, or do you wish to have your warrant read aloud?
Yes, ma'am. I understand my charges.
Your bond is $3,500. You are to stay away from Karina Mack. You cannot return to 807 Fieldstone Parkway. It is indicated that that's your residence. As such, you can return with a sheriff's escort for the limited purpose of retrieving your personal property. However, you cannot go back to that property unescorted until that matter is resolved or until that condition is modified by another judge. Also, you must not violate any laws while out on bond. Do you understand those special conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am. You said it's $3,500, right?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be able to make bond.
Misdemeanor offense, which means you have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
Ma'am.
Your next court date will be October 27th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Next should be Levante Montgomery. You are charged with theft by deception, concealing the ID of a motor vehicle, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and another count of theft by deception. Do you understand your charges and waive the formal reading of your accusation, or do you wish to have your warrant read aloud?
I don't understand it because he told me since I wasn't.
Okay, my question was, do you understand? You said no, so I'll read it aloud. It says that you did display a false tag with the intent to conceal the true identity of the vehicle. By use of a false tag, the vehicle is owned by a offender. Inside said vehicle in the passenger door frame was less than 1 ounce of suspected marijuana, which offender claimed as his. You obtained access to 2750 Old South Drive by deceitfully acting as buyers to gain access to appliances inside the home. You then attempted to sell the items to undercover investigators, acted along with Isaiah Steele. Your bond is $12,000, and you must not violate any laws out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes.
Your next court date will be November 9th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Next should be Burdell Noel. You were charged with criminal trespass. Do you understand and waive the formal reading of your accusation, or do you wish to have your warrant read aloud?
Can you read out loud for me, please?
It's accused that you did knowingly and maliciously interfere with the possession of an LG Stylo cell phone, chime card, and $20, which is the property of Yolanda Nixon, without her consent by removing the items from her purse within the victim's presence and refusing to give them back to her. You then left the scene with the items in your possession. You and the victim have been residing at the same location of 7385 Hanover Road in the Days Inn Motel. This occurred inside of Clayton County, Georgia. You are to stay away from Yolanda Nixon. Your bond is $3,500. You cannot return to 7385 Hanover Room 114 in the Days Inn in Stockbridge, Georgia. And you must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am. May I say something, please?
What?
The items you just said, I'll return them items to the defendant.
Okay. That's for you to share with your lawyer, okay?
Yeah.
You said you're able to make bond. This is a misdemeanor offense, which means you have the opportunity to waive your preliminary hearing. Do you wish to waive your preliminary hearing?
No, ma'am. Is there
your next court date will be October 27th at 8. What was that?
Is there any way I can make a call, phone call?
That's up to the jail. My question was, do you waive it? You said no. Your next court date will be October 27th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day, okay, sir? Next should be Antonio Smith.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you Mr. Smith?
Yes, ma'am.
You were charged with speeding, manufacturing, selling, or distributing a false ID, and financial card theft. Do you understand your charges and waive the formal reading of your accusation, or do you wish to have it read aloud?
I don't need them read out loud.
You don't?
No, I don't need them read out loud. No, ma'am.
Your bond is $18,500, and you must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date will be November 9th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Isaiah Steele should be next.
Yes, ma'am.
You were charged with 2 counts of theft by deception and burglary. Do you understand your charges and waive the formal reading of your warrant, or do you wish out?
I understand that. Yes, ma'am.
Your bond is $30,000. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. Are you able to make bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date will be November 9th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day.
Okay, you ready for Mr. Grogan or Ms. Streeter?
Stand by for Grogan. I have Jones, Marcus Jones. Is that the one that we're gonna do him in isolation, correct?
Yeah, he's Deputy Filbert's still setting up for Mr. Jones. You okay, Chief?
Okay, well, let me stand by for Grogan. I did receive an email. Just give me one moment.
Okay, one moment. Judge Duvernay?
Yes.
I was just checking to see, did you want to do Ms. Streeter, or you still want us to stand by while you wait for Mr. Grogan's paperwork?
I want you to stand by. I'm trying to look into Grogan.
Okay, all right.
We're still standing by for an answer from intake. Latasha has been trying to call and nobody's answering the phone. So I'll go ahead and move forward with Ms. Streeter.
Okay, and while you're doing Ms. Streeter, I'm gonna try and make contact with intake. It was in regards to Grogan's paperwork, okay? And then I'll advise that to Ms. Streeter. One moment.
Thank you.
And Judge, we also have Jones ready as well.
Perfect. We'll go ahead and do Ms. Streeter. If you can come forward, Ms. Streeter.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am. You are here not for a first appearance. This is called your extradition hearing. All the rights I advised everyone of earlier apply in your case, but your hearing is a little bit different from the others that have just taken place. You do not have any charges pending against you here in Clayton County. You've been brought to court today because you have charges pending against you in the state of Colorado. Are you in fact Lexis Streeter?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you already have an attorney representing you in this matter?
No, ma'am.
You are charged with being a fugitive from justice as follows. It is alleged that you did enter and remain in the state of Georgia knowing that you were wanted by the Estes Park Police for a credit card fraud, which is a felony, and they have indicated that they want to extradite you. You have a choice whether you wish to contest the extradition or if you wish to waive the extradition and return voluntarily to the state of Colorado without going through the formal extradition process. If you decide that you wish to contest extradition, the court may commit you to the county jail for an initial period of 30 days. During that time, a warrant will be prepared under the governor's signature for your extradition from Georgia to Colorado. Although the court may consider allowing a bond, I am not allowing a bond in your case. It is the policy of this court not to allow a bond in any of the cases that are fugitive from justice cases. So as you are wanted by another jurisdiction, I am not setting a bond in your case at this time. If you do not wish to voluntarily return to the state of Colorado, you may file a writ of habeas corpus. That writ can only contest the following 4 things. 1, whether the extradition documents are in order on their face. 2, whether you are charged with a crime that actually exists in the state of Colorado. Whether 3, you are the person named in the request. And 4, whether you are in fact a fugitive from justice. You are not permitted to contest the issue of guilt or innocence in the state of Georgia. You are entitled to the advice of counsel. If the state is unable to extradite you within 30 days, you may be committed to the county jail for an additional 60 days while awaiting your extradition. If, however, after 90 days, extradition is not completed, then you will be released. So I asked, do you wish to, are you in fact, as I stated, Lexis Streeter?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you wish to voluntarily return and waive a formal extradition hearing?
Yes.
Okay. There will be several originals that you will need to sign. Please sign those and the jail will return them to the court. Have a good day, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge Duvernay, would you like to do the gentleman that's in medical, Mr. Jones? Now, while you're waiting for Mr.
Yes.
I spoke to intake. They said they were going to get it to you as soon as possible.
Okay. So yes, let's go ahead and do Mr. Jones. He did not hear the speech, so I will read it for the 3rd and final time this morning. Sir, can you hear the court?
Mr. Jones, can you hear? Not really.
Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you vaguely.
Okay. Well, is there a slide or something where he can lean his ear?
Yeah, Judge.
Sir, this is your first appearance before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. We are not here to try your case or take a plea. You are here for the court to inform you of your charges, advise you of your rights, set bail for the offenses for which the court is authorized to set bail, schedule a preliminary hearing, and determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing. Should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you if this case goes to trial. During this and all other proceedings, you have the right to the presumption of innocence until the state proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to indictment by grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors. You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury. You have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine witnesses who are called to testify against you. You have the right to compel the attendance of witnesses on your own behalf. You have the right to offer evidence in your own defense should you choose to do so. However, nobody can require you to present any evidence. You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and I have appointed an attorney to represent you in this matter. You do not have a bond at this time based on the history and the nature of this case. You are charged with aggravated stalking. Do you understand your charge and waive the formal reading of your warrant, or do you wish to have your warrant read aloud?
I understand the charge, but I don't know why I'm charged.
It is alleged that you committed the act of aggravated stalking when you were at the building of 333 Indian Lake Drive in Morrow, Georgia, where the victim, Henderson, was there. You have a no contact order that was signed into effect in January of this year. Henderson currently resides at the above location. The no contact order contacts that you will have law enforcement present if you are to be at that location is alleged that you did not. As such, the court found probable cause for the warrant of aggravated stalking, and as such, you do not have a bond at this time. Should you get a bond, you shall stay away from Henderson and not return to 333 Indian Lake Drive in Morrow. You must not violate any laws while out on bond. But however, as I stated, you do not have a bond at this time, and this is a felony offense. So you do have a preliminary hearing currently scheduled for November 9th at 8 a.m. in room 201. Have a good day. Was that the only one you had, Deputy Filbert, over there?
Yes, Judge. The last one we're waiting on is Brogan.
And Judge Dubin.
Let me say,
they said they were.
I just need to confirm.
They said they were going to send it to.
I received the paperwork. I just needed clarification because it looks like they're only holding him for one thing. I want to make sure. I received about 5 warrants, but only 1 warrant was listed. So I want to make sure what he's being held for. So if they could just shoot me an email telling me what they're listing him as being held for, we can finish this up.
Okay, I'll do that right now. I'll let them know that. Okay.
Thank you.
Judge Duvernay?
Yes.
Okay, I was just advised from intake that he's being booked on all 6 warrants, I believe that they had. He's
okay, thank you.
6 warrants.
You can bring him forward.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Okay. And okay, but she gonna do it.
I'm still here. Did you have something else for me?
No, ma'am. Come on. Come over here.
Okay.
Come you back, Mr. Grover. Come on, man. Come over here. We've been waiting for you. They'll explain it to you. He goes with him.
Are you Ricardo Grogan?
Yes, ma'am.
You are facing a charge of forgery in the 3rd degree. You're facing a charge of aggravated assault. Possession of a firearm during the commission of aggravated assault. You are charged with and you're charged with 4 counts of aggravated assault. Do you understand your charges and waive the reading of your warrants, or do you wish to have your warrants read aloud?
Go ahead, ma'am.
Go ahead and read them.
Yes, ma'am.
It is accused that you did have a check written in the amount of $1,500 or more in such a manner that it is made or altered, that you presented a check from Georgia Auto Pawn to Liberty Package in the amount of $1,600, which was returned by the bank as altered and fictitious. It is alleged that you did have on your person a firearm during the commission of aggravated assault, which is a felony. It is alleged that you did make an assault on Noah Davis with a handgun by discharging a handgun toward an occupied vehicle where Noah was in the back seat. Alleged that you did use a handgun against Armani Newsome by shooting a handgun toward a vehicle where Armani was the front passenger. It is alleged that you shot a handgun at a vehicle where Kaylee Jones was in the backseat. It is alleged that you fired a handgun toward a vehicle where Candiati Jones was driving. Court reviewed all of these warrants, found that there was probable cause for them. As such, you do not have a bond at this time. Your next court date will be November 9th at 8 a.m. Have a good day.
You too, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, come on, Mr. Gordon.
Oh, one thing I meant to mention, sir. Although you do not have a bond, should you get a bond, a condition of that bond will be to stay away from Nova Davis, Armani Newsome, Kaylee Jones, and Candiati Jones. But as stated, you do not have a bond at this time. Have a good day.
Can you repeat that again, ma'am?
I stated that you do not have a bond. However, should you get a bond, a condition of the bond will be to stay away from Noah Davis, Armani Newsome, Kaylee Jones, and Candiati Jones. However, you do not have a bond at this time. That's just something for you to be aware of. If you get a bond at a later date, you shall stay away from these alleged victims.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, come on.
Thank you. That should be the end, correct?
Sorry, ma'am?
That's everybody?
Ma'am, that's everybody.
The jail listed a add-on, however, no paperwork was sent over, so they'll have to add that person on tomorrow. We've already been in court for 3.5 hours, 2.5 hours. So I don't see any paperwork. You don't have anybody that's waiting in the wings, so that add-on will need to be added on tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Y'all have a good day. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.
Tomorrow, thank you.